Imagine transforming your life not with massive, dramatic changes, but with tiny, almost invisible tweaks. Sounds too simple, right? But what if getting just 1% better every single day could compound into something truly extraordinary, not just in your career, but in your relationships, your health, your mindset, every part of your life? This is the powerful idea at the heart of Atomic Habits, the best-selling book by James Clear. It's not about willpower or motivation, it's about systems. Small, consistent actions that, over time, rewire your brain, reshape your identity, and redefine what you believe is possible. In this video, we'll dive into whether Atomic Habits is actually worth your time, and more importantly, what kind of lasting impact it can have on your daily life. We'll break down the core principles, share real-life examples, and explore how you can start applying these strategies today even if you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to begin. Whether you're trying to quit a bad habit, start a positive one, or simply gain control over your time and energy, this might just be the breakthrough you've been looking for. Stick around, because real change doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes, it's just one small habit at a time. Atomic Habits is more than just a book about habit formation, it's a guide to changing your life, one tiny step at a time. The title itself is meaningful. The word atomic refers to things that are both small and mighty, and that's exactly how James Clear wants you to think about habits, tiny actions that, over time, carry immense power to reshape your life. At the heart of the book is one powerful idea. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. It's a simple truth, but one we often overlook. Most of us think we fail because of a lack of motivation or willpower, but Clear shows us that the real problem lies in our systems, the invisible structures and routines we follow every day. Think about it. If you want to be healthier, more productive, more focused, or even happier, the key isn't to suddenly become a different person overnight. It's about designing your environment, your routines, and your mindset in a way that supports who you want to become, starting with just one small habit. The book introduces a practical framework known as the 4 Laws of Behavior Change. These aren't just theories, they're actionable steps you can start using today to build better habits and break bad ones. Let's break them down. 1. Make it obvious. We're often blind to our own behavior. The first step is awareness. Clear suggests habit tracking and environmental design. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. If you want to drink more water, keep a full bottle within arm's reach. It's about removing friction and making your cues clear and visible. 2. When attractive, we're more likely to stick with habits that we enjoy. Clear encourages pairing new habits with things you already like, a technique called temptation bundling. For example, only listen to your favorite podcast while going for a walk or doing the dishes. When habits feel rewarding from the start, they become much easier to maintain. 3. Make it easy. This might be the most counterintuitive principle. We tend to think big goals require big actions, but that often leads to burnout or giving up. Clear argues that the key is to start small. Want to journal every day? Start with just writing one sentence. Want to exercise? Do one push-up. These gateway habits remove the mental resistance and build momentum. 4. Make it satisfying. Our brains are wired to repeat what feels good. Clear explains that immediate rewards are crucial for forming habits. That could be checking off a habit tracker, celebrating a streak, or simply acknowledging your progress. When we feel a sense of success, our brain says, "Let's do that again." Each law is supported with real-life examples from athletes and artists to entrepreneurs and everyday people who use these tools to transform their lives. That's one of the book's biggest strengths. It's practical, relatable, and easy to apply. But perhaps the most important message of Atomic Habits is this: small changes matter. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. You don't need to overhaul your life to make progress. You just need to show up consistently. One small improvement each day doesn't seem like much, but over months and years, it compounds into something extraordinary. So, is Atomic Habits worth your time? If you're someone who's tired of setting goals that never stick, who struggles with consistency, or who just wants to improve without feeling overwhelmed, this book might just change the way you approach growth entirely. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to get 1% better again and again. Because in the end, it's not the big moments that shape our lives. It's the tiny habits, repeated daily, that define our destiny. Now, let's talk about the author for a moment. James Clear isn't a scientist or a psychologist. He's a writer and productivity expert, but his ideas are backed by solid research in neuroscience and behavioral psychology. And what gives his work even more weight is his personal story. After suffering a devastating baseball injury in college, a traumatic brain injury, to be exact, he had to rebuild his life from scratch. He didn't do it with massive leaps or bursts of motivation. He did it by making slow, steady improvements, one habit at a time. That experience taught him something powerful. Change doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. In fact, the most sustainable changes often happen in the background quietly, consistently, almost invisibly. So, what can you actually gain from reading Atomic Habits by James Clear? Let's break it down in a real, practical way. First, you'll learn how to stop relying on motivation. That might sound strange after all. We're constantly told to stay motivated. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. Some days you have it, and some days you just don't. Atomic Habits teaches a smarter approach. Build systems instead. Systems that run on autopilot. Systems that don't care how you feel in the moment. Systems that quietly push you forward even on your worst days. For example, instead of forcing yourself to go to the gym when you feel drained, what if the gym was already part of your routine, triggered by a simple cue, like finishing work or laying out your clothes the night before? That's a system, and systems beat motivation every time. Second, you'll start thinking in terms of identity-based habits. This is one of the book's most powerful insights. Most people set goals like, I want to eat healthier, or I want to write a book. But Clear encourages a shift in perspective. Don't focus on what you want to do, focus on who you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to run, say, I'm a runner. Instead of, I should read more, say, I'm a reader. Why? Because when your habits are tied to your identity, they become stronger, more meaningful. You're no longer just checking a box, you're reinforcing who you are. Third, you'll understand the power of the compound effect. Small actions, repeated daily, build extraordinary results over time. Imagine improving just 1% each day. It doesn't seem like much, but over a year, that adds up to a massive transformation. It's like compound interest for your life. Just like saving a little money each month builds long-term wealth, tiny daily habits build long-term success in fitness, in creativity, in relationships, and beyond. Clear uses the metaphor of an ice cube melting. You might not notice change at first. You're adding effort, but it feels like nothing's happening. Then suddenly, the temperature hits a tipping point and the ice begins to melt. That's the power of persistence and compounding. Next, you'll learn how to break bad habits too. It's not all about building the good, it's also about dismantling the bad. James Clear flips his 4 laws of behavior change in reverse. To help you do this, make the bad habit invisible, remove triggers from your environment, make it unattractive, reframe how you see the behavior, make it difficult, add friction, so it's harder to do, make it unsatisfying, introduce accountability, or remove rewards. So, if you're trying to cut back on social media, for example, you might delete the apps, keep your phone out of reach, and track how much time you don't spend on it. Each of these steps weakens the habit's grip on you, but maybe the most powerful and underrated takeaway from Atomic Habits is this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. In a world that glorifies instant results and overnight success, Atomic Habits gives you permission to slow down and trust the process. You don't have to change everything all at once. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't even have to feel ready. All you need to do is show up, consistently, every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, even if it's not perfect. Because when it comes to real, lasting change, it's not about doing more. It's about doing small things, consistently, and letting those small wins build momentum. That's how habits stick. That's how people change. And that's what makes Atomic Habits such a valuable read. It doesn't just inspire you, it equips you. It gives you a system, a mindset, and the tools to take action, starting exactly where you are. So if you've been looking for a fresh, realistic way to level up your life, this book might be your next best habit. So is Atomic Habits worth reading? In a word, absolutely. Whether you're an entrepreneur trying to boost your productivity, a student looking for more focus, a parent hoping to build better routines for your family, or just someone who wants to live a little better every day, this book has something for you. What makes Atomic Habits different is that it doesn't just give you generic advice, like, try harder, or, be more disciplined. It offers a clear, science-backed roadmap for change. You'll learn why habits form, how they work, and most importantly, how to take control of them, one step at a time. And here's the most powerful message the book drives home. The biggest results don't come from huge, dramatic changes. They come from tiny, almost invisible steps done consistently. That's what makes them atomic. It's not about overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about shifting your identity slowly, from, "I want to be fit," to "I am someone who works out," from, "I want to be productive," to "I am someone who doesn't procrastinate." It's these small wins, repeated daily, that compound into lasting transformation. That's what makes this book so impactful, not just as something you read, but something you live. So if you're ready to upgrade your habits, reshape your identity, and build a better version of yourself one small, deliberate step at a time, then yes, Atomic Habits is absolutely worth reading. In fact, it might just be worth living. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and drop a comment below. What's one small habit you're working on right now? I'd love to hear your goals and maybe even help you stay consistent.